guys, it's Gina with Sidewalk Talk. Today, I'm with Alert. How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
Have you been?
I'm perfect.
Yeah, you're perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, so you grew up in Israel.
Yeah.
What is that like growing up in Israel?
You know, it's like, I feel like once you're from there, you don't see like the bad things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. I went through a couple of walls and, I don't know, got used to it.
Yes.
Went to the army for 1 year.
Yeah, so like what were your favorite things to do growing up in Israel?
I found like music production pretty early, so
Yeah.
I feel like it was when I was about 12.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
so that's what you just started doing? You didn't do like anything else?
I did some like soccer and
Okay.
and like this type of things.
Mm-hmm.
I started like I did some instruments, piano and guitar, but never kind of stuck through.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I found music production when I was like 12, 13, I kind of ran with it till now, basically.
So like, how would you describe yourself as a kid,
As
like
a
growing
kid,
up?
I was very friendly. I had tons of
You're very
friends.
friendly.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the cool kid?
I was one of the cool kids.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
Yeah.
What an honor to meet one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
I was not the cool kid.
Yeah, I used to, I had other friends and most of us were like into kind of like the beginning of electronic music in the 90s. And I was the one making it, so it was kind of fun having all my friends going through my journey with me,
So what type of music did you and your friends listen to? Oh my gosh, that is the cutest dog I've ever seen. It is it's a cotton ball.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
And so yeah, I started initially listening to like Chemical Brothers, Prodigy, those kind of stuff. But then I found out psytrance really early. Israel is very known for like psytrance.
Oh,
being
is
a
it?
big thing over there, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I started going to parties and just got to meet all the Israeli psytrance artists back then in the 90s and kind of ran with that pretty much until...
How old were you?
I think 16, 17
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
When I started kind of going to parties, like...
Oh my gosh, you
raves.
started going to raves at 16.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
Wow. What was like, do you remember your first rave experience?
Absolutely.
Well, like, what was it like?
It was like in the north of Israel. It's, there were these two twins that used to do parties. They were very famous in Israel for doing like underground parties. And I went there with my friend and his sister that used to work for them. So that's how I got to know it. And I went there, it was like in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. And just fell in love with the vibe,
You fell in love with the vibe.
People like with no shirts on and just like, dancing.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many people were at this first rave?
I think like, probably like 200, 300.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very underground.
Yeah. And when you said you started getting into music at 12, where do you think you got your creative side from? Like, what do your parents do? Like, are they into music as well?
No, really. My dad was like, my mom used to work in the lab. And like
science?
like science, but she wasn't like a scientist. She was like just working in the lab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then my dad used to be like a captain on a ship for years.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I kind of grew up going with him on a ship, like to Europe, Australia.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What a cool childhood.
It
Wow.
was a lot of fun.
So, like, where do you think you got your creative side from? Like, just
I
hanging
don't
out
know.
with your friends or something?
I feel like I just always gravitated towards music. I always wanted to learn an instrument, but never stuck through it.
Yeah.
So I did piano for a while, really loved it, but then kind of got bored of it. Then I did guitar for a while, the same thing. But then I, by mistake, kind of found out that you can produce music on a computer. And I was always into computer and technology and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just ran with it,
Yeah. So, like, when you're getting introduced to piano and these different instruments, is that something that your mom and dad like You know how like some parents are like, you need to learn how to play an instrument.
I never had that. You know, they
Oh,
wanted me to do outside of school stuff, but they never like pushed me into doing like, you know, piano or like something like that.
Oh, okay. So it was your decision
Just,
to.
yeah, just my decision. My
Oh,
brother
okay.
used to be into guitar and stuff like that, so I kind of went, you know, I just enjoyed music.
Is this guy gonna follow us?
Yeah, you know.
This guy's gonna follow us until the very end, isn't he? Oh my gosh. Okay. There, I bet he's gonna start again.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? this is what happens when you're sidewalk talking, you know? You're just like
You get sidewalk beeping.
Yeah, we'll just go walk this way, I guess, and just walk up. So you just kind of got introduced to it. How'd you find out about music production?
So it was like it was a funny accident because when I was like about 12, it was like just the beginning of MP3 music. You could start downloading it and stuff.
LimeWire days?
Even before that.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I'm 38, so
Oh, whoa.
12 was a while ago.
What was the LimeWire before LimeWire? Is there an
It was Napster.
Napster.
Yeah, and there was before that even
What?
MIRC. So it was
Oh,
like a chat thing, and you used to trade music over that.
what?
Yeah, so I looked for like the specific song, which was Dr. Alban, It's My Life. And I found this file online called itsmylife.mod. I downloaded it and it was like not working, not, you know, in Winamp and Windows Media Player, none of that. It's like no program read it. And then I found out there is a program that can read it, and it's called Input Tracker. It's like one of the first music production stuff, you know? So I downloaded it and suddenly I figured that, you know, I played the song and it played it without the vocals. And I was like,
Oh.
somebody pretty much made a remake of that in that program.
Oh.
And I found out that when you press the keyboard, it plays. So that's how it started.
Oh,
It was like an IP accident, yeah.
oh wow. And then like what made you want to start making your own music?
In the beginning, it was just like a for fun kind of thing, you know. I just, instead of spending my time playing computer games, I just did that kind of thing.
Wow.
And then as I, you know, growing up in the 90s, all this like new, cool, like electronic bands came in. Prodigy, Chemical Brothers, Guvamada,
Yeah.
all those, and I kind of like gravitated towards it. And especially when I found Psytrance, I saw people are like going around the world and doing shows. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
this is exactly what I want to do. So like, what did your parents think of that route?
Yeah, they really didn't think much about it when I came to my dad and told him I want to buy like a sound card. It cost like $1,000. Like, what are you talking?
SoundCloud?
Sound card.
Oh.
Sound card.
Oh, I was like, SoundCloud is
Yeah, like, it's
$1,000.
like an interface, like an
Oh,
audio
okay.
interface. So when I told him that, he told me like, nah, there's no way. I'm not just spending $1,000 on you. And you know, eventually my brother was the one who bought me my first
Really?
interface, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know, I kind of did it, and my dad is like more of, you know, you go to study and you do your thing, you know, and like this how you make money. So he didn't really believe it in the beginning, but eventually kind of had to go with what I wanted, you know.
Right. When did your brother, like, at what age did your brother buy you that?
I think I was like 16 or 17
Okay.
when I came to my brother. My brother is like older, 10 years. He's like 10 years older than me, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when I came to him, I was like, damn, my dad doesn't want to buy it for me. And I didn't even ask, he just came and got me the present.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you go to college too?
No,
or?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't. So like, what was the trend? So your parents didn't really mind that you didn't go to school?
Yeah, well, it was like, when I finished the army, I was like 19. I didn't really finish, I just dropped out of the army pretty much. And I just moved to Tel Aviv, like kind of like the main city in Israel. And I don't know. I just didn't feel like my route is to take, like, go to college or anything. And just my dad just, agreed with me, I guess.
Really? So your parents were pretty supportive overall.
Overall, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's really amazing to hear. And you were actually in a duo project when you first started, though, right?
Yeah, actually, I started a solo project.
Oh, okay.
It was called Switch back in the day. And I stopped that in about 2011. And then I did another project called Coming Soon, which I'm still doing. It's like psytrance together with another guy. And when I moved here in 2016, I was like, yeah, I have to do something,
Yeah.
kind of like make myself do some new stuff.
Yeah. And do you, like, your personal, like, do you prefer working by yourself as a solo project or a duo project, or does it really not matter?
It really depends, Like, I feel like with Alert, it was a good thing of me doing it by myself, because it's just not something my partner liked. So I kind of like, I could choose my own way of doing stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I enjoy working with people.
Yeah. What were your biggest challenges that you faced in the beginning of your music projects?
I feel like the first step into like people knowing you and like respecting you as a producer, that's the kind of like
Respecting you as a producer.
yeah.
So how do you get respect as a producer?
Well, you need to make good music.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah.
But, like, you need to kind of like, first, I feel like what separates artists from each other is just like the consistency and being consistent with releases, and even sometimes without success, you're still doing what you like to do. And when other artists seeing you like that consistent, that like into what you're doing, I think they respect you more. Even before talking about money and all that stuff, it's just getting your peers to kind of know you're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that helps a lot once they actually know, because you'll get like to do collabs and you'll get to do all this other stuff that it feels like very gate kept before you step into that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's more gatekeepy nowadays. You think that's true or no?
I think now you have like, first you have social media, that like if you're good with social media, you kind of skip a lot of steps. But if you're like me, not so good with social media, you have to kind of prove yourself through your production. And I feel like there is much more you can learn today from YouTube or from other artists that will do tutorials and stuff, comparing to back then before there was even YouTube.
Yeah, so as far as social media, like what, or even just like being different from other producers, like how do you think producers should approach their career now, like up and coming producers?
Yeah, as an up and coming producer, I would probably just like start with just perfecting your craft, It's like once you're really happy with it, you can start showing it to the world. But like, I feel like I'm from a generation which is like struggling a little bit more with social media, because I don't come from that, comparing to people that were like kind of like born into it, or that grew up with it. And some people would just take the route of like just blasting it through socials until it goes viral. And great also, because I wish I could do it.
Yeah, but I also heard like going viral as an artist doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing either, right?
Yeah, I get
like you don't get the respect factor as much.
Maybe, but it depends. If you're like, really good naturally in what you do, and you get viral, that's great.
Yeah.
But if you just like, it's a fluke, you got viral, you need from there to kind of step it up and learn better, or else it will look like just a fluke.
Right. What do you think is the best piece of music advice that you've ever received or that you've ever given?
It's always told me just to be consistent. And never let success kind of guide you.
What do you mean by consistent? Like consistent in what way?
Pretty much like just do what you love to do. Don't look at how much successful it is. You know, and just continue. Because if you're just gonna wait for the successes, you clearly are going to be very disappointed. You know, so for me, I really like producing, so it's not hard for me to be consistent because I just enjoy sitting in the studio. And if the success comes, it's just like a bonus.
Yeah. How long do you stay in the studio?
When I work, it's like full days. So I would come to the studio at like 10, 11 a.m. Probably leave at like 8, 9.
Oh wow. For like multiple days in a row.
Yeah, if it's like I'm in a work mode, so that's pretty much the whole week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long do you usually take on, you know, like what's the longest amount of time you spent on a song?
That's really varies, you know, because I can finish track in like 5 hours sometimes. And sometimes it would take me like a month. You know, I would go back and forth between fixing the mix, changing the versions to different ones. But like sometimes it just hits in the first time and I can let go of it after 6 hours. So it really depends. It's not like something that's always the same.
Do you use Ableton right now?
I use Ableton right now, yeah.
Why do you use Ableton?
I used to use Cubase at the beginning.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's another one.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Logic.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I remember moving to Ableton like 7, 8 years ago, just because it was faster. It was like my computer could, handle it better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite plugin to use? Do you have a go-to plugin that you just use on
Well, I
everything?
use the Serum a lot, clearly. But I like Contact for all the orchestral stuff, the strings and stuff like that. And then I use Massive a lot also.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. And we're gonna jump into fun parts, Q&A. What is your ultimate comfort food? This is my favorite.
Comfort food?
I love this. I could talk about this topic all day.
So for me it's hummus.
Hummus?
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely. I grew up eating hummus, you know, for Israel it's like a main dish kind of thing, you know?
Hummus is a main dish over there?
Pretty much, yeah.
What?
Everybody loves hummus, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I mean, I love hummus. I didn't think it was like a main dish type of
in
thing.
Israel we would eat it like, you basically get like a couple of pitas and just like a plate of hummus and eat it. It's not like a dip like you would use it here.
So, do you make your own hummus?
I do.
Irad.
I love it.
Do you cook?
I use sometimes, not a lot, but I enjoy cooking the stuff that are from like the Israeli kitchen, kind of. I love shawarma and I love hummus and I love shakshuka. I love like all the Israeli stuff, clearly, but I do enjoy it pretty
What's
much.
shakshuka?
Shakshuka. It's like tomato sauce, kind of a little bit spicy with eggs. So the eggs cook in the tomato sauce kind of. It's really good.
Wait, like hard-boiled eggs?
No,
Like
you kind of like open them like
You
that.
cook them?
Yeah, you cook them. Yeah, it's really good.
So it's like an egg. It's like Israeli egg drop soup, but with tomato.
It's not egg drop because you wouldn't mix them.
Yeah. Oh, you leave it
You leave it. Yeah, until it's like
like
kind
a
of
poached egg.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of like poached, but it's in between runny and like hard.
That
It's
sounds
like a
so good.
Like a breakfast thing.
It's a breakfast thing?
Yeah.
That sounds so good. What other foods? Is there a restaurant in LA that I should check out that has
Israeli?
really good Israeli food?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like what?
Around here you have Mizlala.
Mizlala.
Yes. And then in the valley you got Hummus Bar or Tel Aviv Bar and Grill. Those are like pretty much the go-to for Israeli food.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to go to
Yeah.
those
Yeah, really good.
with Keenan. What other favorite foods do you have?
I love Japanese food, so
Japanese food.
sushi. I love Korean food also. So like,
Have you been to Japan and Korea?
I have. Yeah, I've been to Japan many times, but I've been to Korea a lot of times also.
Oh wow.
And as far as like the psytrance, I used to go there a lot for that.
What's something you're really bad at?
Bad at. I'm good at everything. What is something I'm really bad at?
Yeah.
I feel like
Patience.
patience. I don't have patience.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
You can nail it. Yeah. I don't have patience at all.
What do you mean? Why did you answer that so quickly when I said patience?
'Cause
You're really not patient?
No, not at all.
Like about what?
Pretty
Everything?
much everything. Yeah. I get. I mean, like, I guess I have like ADHD or something, but I get bored really fast with something I don't enjoy fully, which is like sometimes just like, you know, it's not the best. But with some stuff, I get to like them after, and then I get obsessed. But before I get actually to like know those things, I get kind of bored too fast and I leave it.
And how do you think you've grown as a person since you first started? Because you are what, 38 now? You started at 12.
Yeah. How did I grow as a person?
Yeah.
I learned to work more with people, so agents, managers, and stuff like that,
Oh.
which was kind of hard for me in the beginning. And
Why do you say that? Is it the patience thing that you're talking about?
kind of in between the patience thing and like just the decisions to, you know, have somebody kind of tell you what to do, or like at least advise you. When I was very hard at it and kind of thought I knew what I wanted. And so for sure I grew in that sense. Patience with like making music. I rush things less now. I used to rush things a lot back then.
Oh, okay. Like you used to like want to pump out music all the time type of thing?
Yeah, pump up music all the time with no really, you know, story behind it, or like kind of, you know, just rushing the whole process, you know?
Do you, kind of building off of that, the pumping out music part, because I hear all the time, I hear two sides. Everyone's like, quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And people are like, people are gonna forget you because there's so much music coming out on a monthly basis, so you need to once
I
a
feel
month.
like both things are very true.
Okay.
It's like, you know, it's like there is, I don't know the number exactly, but I think it's like 100,000 songs a day get released in Spotify. I think
A day?
A day. It's something like, in those
So what about Friday?
I'm saying it's like a lot is happening.
Yeah.
There is a lot of artists, there is a lot of competition, and yeah, you need to kind of pump out songs, and of course, they also have to be quality songs. So if you like just pumping out whatever, what's the point? But at least if you can, I remember in the beginning when I started, I used to do a track every month. I used to work on the track, release it, and the next month another one.
So what does the workflow look like when you're doing that? Are you building a whole arsenal of music before and planning out your year, or are you like releasing a song 1 month, work on one song, and then it's like that?
That's how I do it, because when I came in, it was like 2018 when I started all this, and I was like, yeah, I need to kind of get out of me, because for me, when I keep songs and just work on them over and over, I feel like I'm kind of losing myself in them, and I just try to overproduce them, or you know. And when like sometimes I would go and I'll do like 50 versions of a track, and the first version was the best, you know.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. I hear that a lot actually.
Yeah.
They're like, I always go back to my first version of the song.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Just like that, because you had a good vibe, you made a song, and now you're trying to just overproduce it, or like blast yourself.
Yeah. How do you handle giving feedback, or not giving feedback, but you know how there's a lot of producers that send music for feedback, and then they'll send it to, I don't know, 5-8 people, and get 5-8 different opinions.
Yeah.
Are you the?
I usually, when I ask for feedback on my music, it would be mostly on the mix side.
Oh.
So like, it's more like on that subject you can get like a more cohesive kind of feedback. Where you
Right.
can tell you, listen, it just doesn't sound good, blah, blah, blah. The bass not loud enough, whatever, you know? But
Yeah.
in the music sense, the music, I think you have to kind of trust yourself, you know, as a musician, that what you do is what you love. And if you don't love it enough, you probably shouldn't release it.
I love that answer. Are you an organized producer or a chaotic producer? When it comes to, you know how people have the color coordinated and labeling everything and making sure everything's clean.
So I go in between both. So what I do is I start super disorganized. I would start on like,
What?
yeah, like 100 different tracks and like no color organizing, kick here, bass here, lead here, whatever.
Well, what? I've never heard of this process.
But then when I'm done, I will organize it.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Wait, when it's done, you'll organize it?
Because then,
What's the purpose of organizing after?
because you're not like, when I'm done, kind of like, I know the track is like a full track. And then I can kind of organize everything and kind of tone down some stuff. And once I can see everything organized, I can, you know, have a different look at the track. You know what I mean?
I don't,
Okay, so
but I get it.
yeah, it's kind of like
You're just cleaning it up.
Yeah, cleaning it up, and then I can have another look at it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I see. Huh. That's the first time I heard someone do that. The starting. Sometimes people are like, oh, I'll start really clean, and then it'll get messy through time. But you're just like, yeah, I start. It's all over the place, and then I'll clean it
Yeah,
up.
exactly. And then you can have a different perspective on the track, you know, and you know where everything is. Now you can, you know, walk the mix better, walk the track itself better, whatever.
Interesting. What do you think is the biggest lesson you learned in the music industry?
Biggest lesson I learned is that you need to do what you love and not what people tell you to do. Like you need to release music that you love, that you're really into.
Oh.
Or else it's gonna just fall in between another 100,000.
So are you saying like you've been convinced to release music that you didn't really love?
For sure.
Did that happen often?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
But it used to happen, like, I guess, you know, more on my psytrance journey.
When you were first starting?
Yeah. It was like, I used to get people that like, you know, tell me, no, it's not good, it's not gonna be a good look for you, and blah, 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 blah. And I feel like if you are certain about something, doesn't matter what other people say, just go with it. And even if it doesn't work out for you, at least you like it. You know what I mean?
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
I like that advice. So what do you think would be the piece of advice you would give your younger self?
Just be more patient.
Wow, we have a theme.
Yeah.
We have a theme today.
Be more patient.
Be
don't
more
rush things.
patient.
Yeah. You know, learn how to work with people. Take the right advice. You know, learn how to grab the right people to give you advice. Not just like whatever you think is good. They think is good for you.
It's so hard to find good people to work with, though.
It's very, very hard.
What do you suggest as far as, because a lot of people are gonna start to work with other people, or like how do you find good people to work with?
With my experience, the people I worked with was always people that were my friends, and we just did it together, you know. So later on, when I moved here and I got to meet people, it's mostly I just worked with them because I got good friends, being good friends with them, or I really appreciate what they do. You know, so if you have an artist that you really look up to and he's like friendly enough and you become friends with him, and you know you appreciate his music, you can work with him, or at least appreciate his journey.
Right.
You know.
What do you think is the best way of approaching artists right now? Because I feel like there's just so many producers now now
Yeah.
that are, trying to communicate with other producers? What's the best way, like strategically? If you were to start from ground zero right now, what would you do?
I feel like it's really hard to come from ground zero like
Yeah.
that, like nothing.
Yeah.
And go to like somebody this is like really big.
Yeah.
And expect him to answer you.
Yeah.
I understand it. That's why going back to you need to make him respect you, at least what you're doing. So first of all, get your production skills. Get that on check. Make sure you're the best you can be. You spend enough time in the studio to learn how to mix a track, to make a track. All that skill that's involved with it.
Yeah. How did you learn? YouTube or?
Well, I started learning just from friends at the beginning because it was way before YouTube.
Oh, so you have like a little music production group of friends?
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I actually got to meet Johnny at Joyride 20 years ago. Me and him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know him for 20 years.
You guys have known each other for 20 years? How? Where did you guys meet?
We both used to make side trance back in the day. And he used to come to Israel a lot. And we just met through mutual friends. You just stay transcends.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you guys recently became friends. I'm like,
No.
oh wow, you guys go way back. So what was your first impression of Johnny? I'm just curious.
Yeah, he was like an English guy in Israel, and he did really good music back then also. And I appreciated him as an artist.
Yeah.
We just got to be friends, and I never look at him now more than like my good friend.
Aww. What? Do you still keep in touch with those producer friends?
Of course. It's,
What are they?
people I grew up with. And like, I still do like my other projects as well. And I keep in touch with all those guys, all my Israeli friends, like, Vini Vici, and all this type of guys I grew up with, and we'll always be friends,
So Keenan wanted me to ask you this question.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, you have to ask Irad, what's the craziest story that you've had traveling overseas as a DJ?
But I have one really, really cool story.
He told me to ask him, like, oh man, he's like, it's crazy.
I have one crazy one. I used to, back in the Psytrance days, I used to go to Japan all the time. They love Psytrance. And the first shows I did were for like YAKUZA people, It was like underground Psytrance parties with like...
You did what? For the what?
For the YAKUZA, yeah.
For the YAKUZA?
Yeah, so we used to just be like good friends with them. Didn't know what's YAKUZA. I was like 21.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to go to Japan just to do shows for them.
So you knew that they were YAKUZA, but you didn't know what YAKUZA was?
But not really. We knew, we all knew there was like some kind of, sleazy side to what they do. But we never, we kind of like, just went with it, They were nice to it. They were nice to us, So go with them and like. So one time I went to do this show, and I had a show, and then right after it, an after party. An after party there was like starting at 10 a.m., So...
The after party starts at 10 a.m.?
Yes.
What?
Yes, the other party ended at like 8. And I was there with a bunch of friends. Nobody wanted to come with me for the after party. And I was like already dead, I drank a lot in the night and really tired. So I went to the organizer was like this, the guy who organized like the translator kind of thing. It was some Turkish guy, and I knocked on his door in the hotel. I told him, listen, I need to go to that after party. He's like, yeah, no problem. This girl will take you. She takes me, and she drops me off in this club in Tokyo, and I see my friend, like an organizer I know. Just on the front, like, hey, Rad, what's up? Come in, blah, blah, blah. I go inside, it's like 10 people. And I go to the DJ, I'm like, how long do you have? He's like, I have another 2 hours to play. I'm like, oh, God. So So I went to the side, sitting on a bench, half asleep, and the promoter comes to me, he's like, what are you doing here? Go to the hotel. Like, what do you mean? I'm playing you. It's like, no, you're not playing here, you're playing like the other side of Tokyo. And this is before phones and like, you know, phone plans and
Oh,
stuff.
so you're not at the right place?
Not in the right place, you dropped me off at the wrong place.
The promoter dropped you off at the wrong place? The lady.
The lady, the guy sent me.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I don't know what to do. That guy is trying to call them and nobody's answering. So I just went back to my hotel. About like, I fall asleep and like an hour later, I hear like a knock on the door. And these guys that like just were super nice to me before are like suddenly super angry at me. Open the door and they put 2 chairs and like, why you don't come to party? I'm like, listen, I'm trying to explain to them, but they don't speak English. You know? And like, they're super angry at me. It's like the guy and his brother, they woke up the Turkish guy is blaming me, you know? So I had to call this like friend, and she was a translator. And I was like, she came and she's like, hi, listening. And she's like, she turns around and is like, yeah, he's blaming you for everything. I just like stopped everything. I pretty much just told them I'm sorry, and I told her to explain to them. They were not happy at all. I gave him back the money they paid me. You know, I just went to the ATM, took the money out, paid them, and they just took it and left. And in the morning, I didn't know what to do, I just left. I changed my flight, I went to the airport and just left. When I landed in Amsterdam, where was like my connection, I got an email from this translator guys like, they are super sorry, they scared you, they want to bring you back now and pay you like double because of the mistake, it wasn't you, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm not going. Are you crazy? They just want me there, you know? And eventually I actually went. And
You went?
I went, yeah.
Are you crazy?
I did that.
Oh my God.
I believe them.
I was like, oh, okay, you're not gonna go back, right?
I went back, it was really, you know, a lot of fun. They kind of treated me really nice. They took me to tons of yakiniku and like, it's cool in the end. But it was like extremely scary when they came into the room and like was blaming me. You know? That's my one crazy story.
Why would you go back?
Well,
Why would you go back after that encounter?
I told her I'm not going back, but she promised me. She promised me like, no, you don't understand. It's not like this in Japan. There is respect. They told me and blah blah blah. They wouldn't do it like this. So when I went, like, I believed it. Huh? I kind of know the mentality of Japanese people because I love Japan. I love it. Always.
But the Yakuzas have a different mentality, okay?
Kind of different. But they were super nice to me.
Oh, they were super nice.
Extremely nice. They got me like a business class ticket.
Wow.
Yeah, and they paid me like double, and like, you know, they took me shopping and stuff.
They took you shopping?
Yeah.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Because they were so mean. Okay, how mean were they to you?
They were really mean. Like really mean. They came into the room with all their crew, and nobody's looking at me.
How many people were in your hotel room?
Like 8 people. And they were like, they wouldn't even look me in the eyes, you know? It was like, I'm trying to like speak with the crew that like 5 hours ago loved me, and now they can't even look at me. So.
And so what happened to the Turkish translator guy that was like?
I don't know.
Have you talked to him?
I haven't. No. I kind of stayed away from that situation over there.
That's an overall very scary situation.
Yeah, it was extremely
When
scary.
was
I was
this?
really scared. Must have been like 13 years ago.
13 years ago.
Yeah, maybe a bit more.
Have you had contact with them since?
Oh yeah, I went to play for them after also. A few times.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I
When's the last time you were kept
probably 10 years ago. I went.
Oh, okay. So
there-
you haven't talked to them like the past like 10 years?
Yeah, the past maybe like, yeah.
That is the craziest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That is like straight up. Have you watched Tokyo Vice?
Yeah.
Oh,
That. You know
I
what?
was just like,
Once I saw that Tokyo Vice thing, I was like, yeah, I need to write this into like a story, like a movie, you know, because there are a lot of details that I left out. But whatever scary you think it was more than that, you know, because those people are like actually YAKUZA, you know, with the tattoos and everything, like the actual ones.
oh my god! Wait, I need to really process this. I'm not kidding. Like, I watched Tokyo Vice, and I'm like, this stuff like actually happens in real life.
Yeah.
And then you say that, and I'm like, wait.
There is a very sleazy underground to Japan, you know, which we used to kind of, you know, the nightlife there and all that stuff in Tokyo specifically.
Yeah.
I still love Japan. Like the best place.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if I would go back after that experience.
Yeah,
You're very ballsy to
I
go
would-
back
I would
multiple
go
times.
back anytime to Japan. I was just there.
Yeah. No, I meant like to hang with them. You know what I mean?
Those guys, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's different.
Okay.
It's different now.
Yeah, definitely different. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyways, other than that was a crazy story. Can you give me another story just to like sandwich this? Give me like a positive story.
Positive story?
Yeah, what's the craziest? Another story.
Another story?
Just so I can balance out my stress. I really need to balance. I can't stop thinking about it because I'm just like, because Tokyo Vice is like one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
And every single time I watch like every single episode, I'm like, this really happens in real life, especially in
Did you ever
Asia.
watch Enter the Void?
No.
Oh, you should watch
Enter the Void?
Enter the Void.
No, I've never seen it.
Wait.
Yeah, and I'm watching, I just finished Bloodhounds. It's a K-drama about the gangs in Korea. And like that actually happens too. It's just so corrupt. They own the entire government, police, whatever. But like, oh my gosh. Okay.
It's, another crazy story.
Another crazy. You don't have it. You don't have any, do you?
It's, you know, other than that, everything for my journey was pretty positive.
I hope so.
Pretty positive. I don't know, like.
What's the best thing what's like the biggest highlight moment of your career so far?
I remember like when I started doing like Coming Soon, like a year into it, we got really big, and Armin van Buren himself actually called us to. We were the first psytrance artists to play a state of trance. So it was just trance before that. We were the first to do psytrance.
Whoa, that's amazing.
And did an interview with him, you know. It was a cool thing to meet him, kind of like in person. Talk with him.
Yeah. A few more questions. What is on top of your bucket list right now?
On top of my bucket list? First, I would always like to get better at what I do. So like, you know, improve myself.
That's so crazy you say that because you've done this since you were 12.
I don't think you can ever stop learning because it always changes so much. I feel like throughout, since I was 12, music probably changed like 50 times, you know, and if it's between the type of mix or the type of drums you use or bass or whatever, it's always changing. You know?
That's true.
You're always gonna learn. I feel like I never stopped learning or at least wanting to learn.
What?
More bucket list is just like, you know, making alert as big as I can.
Make what?
Making alert
as
big as I can. Pretty much like having, you know, more people get to know what I do, join me kind of like throughout my journey and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, just continue, you know, it's like, as far as like specific bucket list items I don't have. I just want to continue what I do in the best way I can.
Oh, I love that. And to kind of build off of that, what is next for you?
I think next will be probably more collabs with artists. I have a bunch of collabs I'm working on right now. And like kind of branching out to more genres
Oh, you are.
within the house, kind of like, you know, bubble. I'm gonna say, but like just doing a lot of like collaborations with people. I feel like I work alone enough to want now to work with more people.
Right.
And, you know, just do more interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay. Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
Just for being a good person. Let's be honest.
Oh,
I just want people to have a smile on their face when they see me, regardless of the music or when they think about me. You know, regardless of the music or all that cool stuff, you know, of course I want to be remembered for like, you know, good music, but specifically for my character.
oh. Well, I mean, you are a good
I
person.
appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, and Keen freaking loves you. Everyone around you loves you.
awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Rad Alert, thank you so much for being a part of this channel and doing this interview. And we will see you next week.